Let's start with what's new in the new features available for batch management. So we have a new checkbox, use schedule posting dates, and then we have a new stop button, and then we have made the post to and reverse to the date field mandatory now, and then we have a new batch action for contract change. So let's look at them in detail now. So first we have um, a glance at schedule posting job, and we have a new checkbox available for scheduling job, that is until end of schedule run month. If it is selected, the scheduled job picks up all the postings from the post from date until the end of the scheduled run month. So if you go to the application, to the back end, and select schedule posting job, and I'm creating a new posting schedule, and posting type I want post payment, post accruals, and post depreciation, and we have to select a batch. I have a list of all the contracts here, and I'm selecting that over here and select. And in the posting parameters, we have use schedule period dates, and then until end of schedule run month. So if the job is scheduled to run on the 25th of the month, then the application picks up posting up to the end of the month to post on the 25th. So if it is not selected, then the job picks up all the posting until the day of the scheduled run, plus or minus the specified number of days. And now let's move on to the next one. We have a stop button. So this button will allow us to stop the batch from processing the remaining batch items. So both scheduled and non-scheduled batches can be stopped. So let's go to the application, and let's go start a batch, create a batch, and I'm selecting batch posting, submit, and I'm creating a batch name, and actions, I want to post all postings, and in the filters, again I'm selecting the contact.
Pratibha, I'm going to interrupt you a bit.
Yes.
Yeah.
We had a question from Andrea. Andrea, she's from BP, and she's asking a question about a possibility to exclude drafts in the scheduled jobs. And Andrea, you might remember we talked about this, and this is a version that we made available at the end of June. So right now, that possibility doesn't exist for the schedule in the manager page. This is where Pratibha is showcasing right now. However, the ability exists in the front end, and we took note of the request, and we made it with our product team to have the same in the manager page.
Thank you.
Very welcome.
Now I have selected the contacts that I want to start posting, and I'm saving them. And in input, I'm using the schedule period date, and I want to post from April to June. And I'm saving it. And I'm running the batch, generating the items now. And I'm running the batch. So here we can see all the batches, and I'm stopping it. So all those items that are still running is the one that they started posting. And here we can see the items where the jobs have been stopped. And now let's move on to the next one. So yes, we have the post to and reverse to date. It is now mandatory to input the date range that you want to post. So if you go back to the batches, in the input, we can see the post to date is mandatory. We also have a today checkbox. We can check that box and select the number of days from today that you would like to post. And in this case, we do not have to specify the date here. So if you have any existing batches, we have to go and modify them. That is, add the to date, or else it will fail to process. And the next one is a new feature that we have in batch action, contract change. So in contract change, we used to have only CPI changes, but now we have the option to delete any open draft that are in the selected contract list. So we don't have to go to each contract and delete the open draft.
Boa. Eu tentei fazer um omelete, mas esses ovos estão meio podres.
I'm sorry, is that a question?
No, I would like to ask you to please put yourself on mute. Thank you so much. Go ahead, Pratibha. There was some noise from the background.
Okay. So we don't have to go to each contract and delete the open draft. Instead, we can collectively use this function. So let's go to the application, and the batch, we can create a new batch. And here we can see ask contract change, submit. So add a name and save them. And in action, we can see delete open draft. We can select that, save, and you can use the contracts where we have the open draft that you want to delete. We can select the company, system, confirm them, and company, confirm them, and then we can select all the contracts and we can save it and run them. Yes, we have a question.
Yeah, go ahead, Agnes.
Hello. I just got a question about mass contract change. Is it also possible to change the cost center with a mass upload file?
So the cost center change is available at unit level. So this is a different batch. What we were showing right now is the ability to delete drafts, open drafts for those units, either if you have reassessment or list modification.
Yeah.
If you know in previous version that option of deleting a draft was only available at the individual level, so we introduce this mass function. For the cost center change, the ability to make the change remains at unit level, because as you know, in our structure, we have one contract that can have multiple list component. One list component can have multiple AGs, and one AGs can have multiple units, and those units, they can have the specific cost center. So the change is targeted at the unit level, not at the contract level.
But for lease component level, it's also not possible. because the change is only reflected on the unit level, but the user gets confused if it sees on lease component level or contract level and on unit level different cost center IDs.
Yeah, so that's what I was explaining, because the way
Mm.
our structure is made, you can have each unit can have a cost center, a different cost center, but the lease component will remain with the initial one.
Okay. Okay, thank you.
You're very welcome. And I think there is another question from Tiesa.
Yes, very quickly. I was trying to do the same way that you were doing now to delete the contracts that we did the reassessment. And I don't see the same option that you're seeing right now. And I have the same version that you were using. Did you go to the filter, right? And then you select the option to delete the contract, right? The draft.
Did you change it from filters to bulk contracts?
Yes, I don't have the option, but I just wanted to see. I don't know why I don't have the option.
Pratibha, I think Tiesa is referring to the action. In the action, she doesn't see. So just maybe if you can explain, because it's a specific type of batch, the one that you choose. So maybe retrace a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'll just start from the beginning.
Thank
So
you.
I'm creating a batch. I'm selecting mass contract change.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
And submit.
Okay.
And I'm giving it a name.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm saving them. And in action, I'm selecting delete open draft.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
Okay.
Were you able to find it, Tiesa?
I will check it out.
Okay.
But thank you.
But so if you still have issues, we can take this offline. You can reach out to us after the session. Okay.
Okay, thank you so much.
No worries. Thank you.
Perfect. Now we'll move on to the next one. We have there are a few improvements that are made in the reports. So let's look into that. We have a consolidated transaction report. We have added few filters and few columns. We have added few columns for activity analysis report, data quality integrity report, and asset roll forward report. Now let's look into that look in detail. So in consolidated transaction report, we have a new filter for depreciation area. These are mostly relevant for those who are connected to SAP. And we have new columns for contract ID, contract name, contract description, and reversal posting date, which were not available previously. So let's go to the application. And for consolidated transaction report,